Day two takeaways. The rookies outside of the first and second round picks make some plays. I'm John Macaroon, Detroit Lions on SI. Day two in the books. Had an opportunity to get out there. First and foremost, Dan Campbell updated Alex Ancelotti's situation, said that the veteran linebacker is dealing with a hamstring injury. Even though he was able to successfully pass a conditioning test, maybe the remnants or the recovery afterwards, not that great, indicating that Alex Ancelotti still not ready yet to practice. I asked Dan Campbell, is there a timetable? No timetable yet for the veteran linebacker. So I'm wondering what you guys' thoughts are about that. I wonder when the veteran is going to actually show up. It might coincide with a new contract. It might coincide, hopefully, when the pads come on, the veteran will get back out there on the field. But more opportunities for Trevor Nowatzki, Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, and players that will certainly take advantage. Also, today I asked Dan Campbell directly, what are your thoughts about Hendon Hooker? Do you still got Teddy Bridgewater on speed dial? And Dan took it to the more personal approach and saying, look, yeah, I've been very close with Teddy Bridgewater my whole life. So not recently, but Dan does certainly check in the with the former backup quarterback. Now, of course, you all know why I would ask that question, because, hey, if Hendon Hooker doesn't shine throughout training camp, then Dan's going to be on speed dial with Teddy Bridgewater, potentially again. But I asked Dan, what do you want to see from Hendon Hooker? And he's like, they gave Hendon opportunities to grow and learn and tasks for the offseason, which he did. Improve your footwork, understand the timing of the offense, up tempo, work on understanding the offense even better. And Hooker today, working with the number twos, I thought was one of the highlights of training camp. I thought that, look, here's the kind of big picture. He's still not wearing pads, but there's still moments where the tempo needs to be worked on, but he got better at it. I thought he showed more command with the second unit. I thought working with some better improved talent certainly definitely makes a quarterback look better. But there are times in certain reps where, and it's going to happen to every quarterback, where if you don't pull the trigger, the defense is bringing pressure. You only have 1, 2, boom, ball's got to be out. You don't have 3, 4 seconds. And so there are times where passes would have been batted down by a stout defensive line. But Hendon Hooker showed more zip, showed more command, and he's developing chemistry with Isaac TeSlaa, which is great, which you hope to see all throughout training camp, especially if the two are going to be out there quite a bit. So Hendon Hooker, definitely one of the highlights, one of his better practices, arguably one of his best practices, but he's got a long way to go. And so I'm going to talk further in podcasts about my assessment of Hendon, and it's one of those deals where it's comes from a competitive mindset, and I'll share my thoughts on a future broadcast. But TeSlaa, again, looks smooth, runs routes very crisply, and showcases good hands. Goff and Hendon Hooker are definitely trying to work in TeSlaa a little bit more. Jameson Williams, you always got to talk about what you see from JAMO. He is competitive, and he wants the ball thrown to him at times when he can go up against a a shorter defensive back. And so without DJ Reed at practice today, we still don't know why DJ Reed was not at practice. The veteran had a good day on Sunday, but was not available on Monday. And we'll get more answers later in the week, most notably probably on Tuesday when we talk to Dan Campbell again. But you got a chance to see Rocky Sin. And I thought that, the veteran defensive back tried his absolute best and stuck with JMO. But as naturally you would expect. What would you do if, if you're thinking mind and you're a defensive coordinator and you have some great safeties? Would you decide to shade one of them over to Jameson Williams' side? Of course you would. And so that's what happened. And so in individual reps, JMO showcased great hands, fluid, route running is crisp. And like everybody says, when you go check out at Detroit Podcast, looks like he's floating out there. That's the talent level that he's got. And when he sets his mind to going full speed and ready to go, great things can happen, even on special teams, even in the return game. He can do it all. And his competitive mindset is coming out each and every rep. Even when the ball doesn't go his direction, he definitely is wondering, man, the defense has to give extra attention. You know it. He's got to talk to the defense and let them know, let me go when I want. Let me see what I can do. But JMO, I think, is somebody that when he wants to turn on the afterjets anytime he wants can be a factor. And I think somebody that when the pads come on, you're going to start to see him really showcase. I think he's going to be a bright spot. One of the biggest takeaways, Marcus Davenport dominated practice. I had a chance, and you can check out and visit Detroit Lions on SI daily. I had a chance to have a conversation with him with a small group of reporters. I went up to him first and asked about his offseason, the work that he's got to do to stay healthy all year. And like any athlete, he's taking a one-day approach. But today he was all up in the business of the offensive line, and they were collapsing the pocket. There would have been opportunities for him to earn 2-3 sacks or more today. And so I wrote 92 down quite a bit. And he was collapsing the pocket. He was abusing, on the right side there. So there were some things that you got a chance to see him in his work on both sides of the offensive line. You have Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport rotating on different edges and different sides. And I think that his ability to collapse and when Kelvin Shepard dialed up pressure, there were some things going on. And you had a certain 7-on-7 drill, which is really tailored for the offense. You had one set of reps where the defense was just absolutely all over the offense, I think, in the first team. And you recognize, okay, the defense is coming to play. They're getting chippy. They're competitive. And Terry Arnold, I thought, acclimated and wants to make plays. Had a pass break, had a ball that was completed and punched the football out. And really was, you can tell it's a skill and a fundamental trait that Kelvin Shepard and all defensive backs coaches want their defensive backs to be fluent in and readily. When the ball is completed, if it should happen in a 7-on-7 or team drill, go out there and punch the football loose. And Terry Arnold did that. And boy, did he celebrate. He definitely celebrated, and he let everybody know that he made a play. Again, it's early training camp. There's some team periods, 7-on-7. There's a lot of interesting work, similar offensive line units that you get a chance to see. And again, the main event, when the pads come on early on, clearly is always going to be Aiden versus Panay. But there's another one that if you go out there, write these two numbers down. 59 left tackle Giovanni Manu against Ahmed Hassanin. Those two might throw down. Those two are going to get after it. And Ahmed is going to battle, and it's going to be something to see. Ahmed had a chance he would have wrecked a run play. He definitely let everybody know it too. Dan Campbell said, we got to kind of dial him back on walks through. But they love his intensity. He is a guy that on the field, look, off the field is going to present himself as instructed potentially, but you know that Middle Eastern fire, you know that defensive end fire that he's got, and he would have blew up a second round rep. I think it was first team. I think it was, second team. Got in there and he would have blown up the play. And he was excited and he got in there quickly. And I do think that you look at what Kelvin Shepard's trying to establish early, and it's making sure fundamentals are crisp, understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do and to be crisp. So I thought the day's work was pretty solid for a lot of players. Like I said, those that impressed me: Terry Arnold, Ahmed Hassanin, Marcus Davenport, Hendon Hooker. They definitely made a lot of noise and were able to impact practice in a good way. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is continuing to showcase his prowess as a pass catcher. You're getting a chance to see him get targeted out of the backfield. And I do think that that's just can only be an asset for your offense. I think that when there's opportunities to improve your offense and showcase a young, hungry football player that can expand his skills, that is something to be seen and to pay attention to when the public gets out there, is how Jahmyr Gibbs looks. And so far, so good. Good camp. Blocking looks good, crisp. Tashard Choice working with the running backs today. Definitely working on the fundamental drills in order to be able to block, because again, I think it's going to be the standard philosophy: no block, no rock for the offensive players. And it was great to hear David Montgomery say, hey, don't forget about me. I'm going to be important, integral in this offense. No doubt about it. But today kind of felt like the chippiness and the momentum was a little bit more on the defensive side, just trying a little bit to get under the skin of the offense. And it's still early. Everyone's still exchanging pleasantries, but it could get feisty real fast. And I think it's going to happen. I think there's going to be some feistiness that's going to take place when the pads come on. But everything's still early. Everything. One of the unfortunate situations is, again, DJ Reed was not there, was not present. Alex Anzalone not present. I believe El Quadin Muhammad not present. And Sione Vaki, I didn't see the play, but I guess left the field due to a leg injury. And then Roy Lopez stayed on the field, but right after a second team period where the second team offense was out there against the second team defense, something came up, and then we looked over and he was talking and walking a little gingerly with the medical staff, but he stayed on the field but did not resume practice. So there'll be updates on some injuries. Sione Vaki, Roy Lopez, probably hopefully something minor, but we'll get updates on further updates on the health of the team. And you can continue to follow all the training camp updates, podcasts, live videos. As you can see, follow on X at Detroit Podcast. It's where you can see the videos. You can see I'm shooting videos, photos. I'm there live. It's funny. I'm still one of the rare people to do that, but I think that more are seeing that, hey, it's pretty popular to showcase what the players are doing if they let you. SI.com/NFL/Lions. Also on this YouTube channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment if you have a question about anything. If you want somebody to be focused on, I'm going to for sure focus on Aiden tomorrow a little bit more. Like I said, Sunday was the defense, Monday a little bit more of the offense. And so check out the videos that you can see at Detroit Podcast and visit si.com/NFL/Lions and keep subscribing, hit that notification bell for daily updates, highlights, analysis from training camp. Boots on the ground all throughout training camp. I'm John Macaroon, Detroit Lions on SI.